over time.
Mr. Sorbara.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and welcome, Finance Minister Bienvenue. Minister, our record for the last 2.5 years speaks for itself, and it's a pretty, I would say, great record. We have, as you said, lowest unemployment rate for 40 years, hundreds of thousands of new jobs created. The Canada Child Benefit is lifting literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of children out of poverty. In my riding of Vaughan Woodbridge, it delivered $60 million of funds to payment to families that need it. And thank you for indexing the Canada Child Benefit and doing it 2 years ahead of schedule, because that's going to continue to benefit families in my riding. They can use that to pay for their kids' sports activities, save for their kids' future, and maybe play for some hockey or soccer ballet lessons. The riding I represent is I'm blessed to represent and privileged to represent those folks. We're blessed with a number of, I would call, barometers. We have the busiest intermodal facility in the country, the intermodal facility, Canada Pacific Intermodal Facility. We have CN Rail has their largest facility in the country. Recently, the Prime Minister joined UPS Canada in their $500 million investment, and that facility is located in the city of Vaughan. The Home Depot Distribution Centre for all of Eastern Canada is located there. We also have Martin Rea, Magna, and York Region. And we want to continue to make sure our investment competitiveness is maintained, that these companies that are making these announcements, including UPS, continue to choose Canada, as many companies are, to invest in its people and organization. And I wanted to hear your thoughts, and I can bring back these thoughts to the riding and the constituents I represent, about how we're going to continue maintaining Canada's attractiveness for international companies and domestics, of course, to invest.
Well, this is a very important question. I can tell you that having had the opportunity to go across Canada after the presentation of the budget, I heard many things from businesses that were considering investments. I heard in many cases people challenged to find workers. We've got a situation where employment, of course, has gone down, so finding and keeping good workers is a challenge. And I also heard about businesses that were concerned about our long-term competitive environment. The good news is that we are in a positive economic situation to deal with challenges that we're presented with. But of course, there's always real challenges that we have to consider. In the current environment, we obviously are renegotiating NAFTA, which presents some uncertainty for businesses. We have changing tax rates in the United States, which present people with business investment differences as they consider those changed tax rates. And we have global trading changes that are going on. So we need to consider that changed competitive environment. I will tell you that what we're doing right now is making sure we understand the impact of those tax changes so we can ensure we stay competitive. We're fighting hard on behalf of Canada at the NAFTA table to get to a better arrangement for all three parties. And we're looking carefully to make sure that we stay competitive. I will be taking time over the course of the next number of months listening to Canadians and Canadian business leaders to understand how these challenges, these changes are impacting them. But what I can tell you is that we continue to have, as you go out of the country, a huge appetite for Canadian investment. We have great people in the country, highly educated workforce. We have great resources. We have a stable political system that creates long-term comfort for investors. So it's a positive place from which we start. And what we are committed to doing is to maintaining that continuing competitiveness by looking at all those aspects of importance for businesses as they make investments.
Okay.
Mr. Sorbara.
I would like to touch upon the budget 2018 in terms of its reference to gender. To personalize it, I have two young, precocious daughters at home who are the love of my life, obviously my wife and I know that, and I've told you this personally, that, and I thanked you for making their future brighter. And I say that with all sincerity, Minister, because what we did in our budget is something I'm proud of. I'm proud to be part of a government that's its focus. And re-emphasizing just how important it is for our economy that women, specifically, the increase in labor force participation rates, equal pay for equal work, and et cetera. And if you can just close it off and provide your thoughts, that'd be great, because I'm very, very proud of our budget, and it's focused on making sure those gaps are reduced.
Well, we're certainly pleased with what we put in the budget, but we realize there's always more work to be done in this and in every other area. We know that if we create the opportunities for young women to see that they can be successful in all fields of endeavor, and that they will have role models in those places, that we're more likely to see long-term success. So we're laying the groundwork for the next government and the government after that to have increasing success in this area. Certainly we will be monitoring what we've done to make sure that it's actually having the kind of impact that we want it to have, and ensuring that, you know, as we did this year, by putting more money together for women entrepreneurs, for example, even though we'd already had significant funds over the last couple of years, making sure that we constantly consider if we have to refresh the approaches to have continued and lasting impact. So we're proud of it as well, but again, more to do.
We'll have to leave it there, Minister. Mr.